All right, welcome everybody to another Bracket Up update. Today, we are going to be taking a quick check in at our NHL Team Draft Challenge that we started a couple months ago and checked in with you guys about 1 month ago. I'm handy dandy Andy Jerrick, and it's a pleasure to see you guys in hockey land here. As usual, we've got Andy Mysek, the man with the best name in the whole wide world, and also the venerable Bill Johnson, Austin Matthews' greatest fan, I'm absolutely sure. I know how much you love Austin Matthews.
I honestly don't know who that is. Is he on one of my teams?
Yeah, and you're gonna like what you see.
Yeah, so
Great. All right.
no,
Thanks, Austin.
There's no terrific Tony Galski here today, but that's all right. We'll go over his team picks as well just to see what's going on. Andy Mysek has the deck ready to go like he did last time. What a nifty presentation that was. I'll kind of pass it over to you, Andy, to get us started. Who's up first?
Oh, wrong side. It's you.
Oh, fuck.
All right. So here's your team's records. You got Tampa Bay. We kind of expected them to be doing well. Philadelphia.
They are on every time I go to the gym, and they are losing to Boston and Pittsburgh 6-2 every fucking time I go to the gym. I am so mad.
They were my pick to come out of the East. Not come out of the East. They were my pick to win the regular season in the East. And
they're not a playoff team right now.
Oh, no. They're not
really
close. Then there's St. Louis.
What happened to them?
We will get to that. St. Louis, they're in a playoff. Well, they're fighting for their playoff lives with Arizona and San Jose. Or not. Yeah, San Jose, which I gave Bill shit for.
Yeah. I think I have a chance.
You might. I don't know yet. Winnipeg Jets.
I do think the Blues have the best chance to get the fourth spot.
Well, hold on.
That's my opinion. I don't know.
They're getting smoked by Colorado right now, but Arizona lost to Minnesota, so yeah, maybe.
How many games are being
played? How the Sharks doing?
We'll get to you. We'll get to you and your precious Sharks.
How many games are they playing this season?
56.
Okay, so we've got about 15.
Are they all
Okay.
They're all hockey games?
Supposedly. Things could change.
Okay.
Man, I'm loving those Predators though.
Oh man, look, that's a good late round pick. We'll close out you real quick here. Jets got a good record. Columbus were sellers at the deadline. New Jersey always sucks. And Predators came into this. Last time we checked in, they were towards the bottom of the Central. They are now in a playoff spot. So here's your playoff teams right now.
All right. That's 50%. I can't be too mad. More than 50%, but
also need to take a look at your players.
Yes.
You have a couple of favorites for the Norris and the Vezina.
Okay. Yeah, Victor Hedman and Andre Valic.
I will be right back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. We'll talk through Jerrick.
You keep going.
So you got Hedman for good pick for the Norris. Vasilevsky, good. I think running away with the Vezina. And then I don't think you have too many award winners. But you have some guys who are coming in clutch for you. Tampa getting Savard is going to help them go deep in the playoffs. You got a couple guys in St. Louis that are keeping them afloat. Scheifele's a tank. Andrew Kopp is career fourth liner, putting up 14 goals and 33 points in 48 games.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. So I'm super excited.
I picked him up on fantasy when I saw him just tearing it up. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take him. Doesn't help you, but Columbus, they had a good trade deadline.
Well, maybe next year it'll help when we do this again.
Yeah, they have 3 first-round picks. Hughes is having a better year. I was having a hard time finding good things to say about New Jersey. And then the Predators are just on fire right now.
Yeah.
But here's your Flyers. You got Carter Hart, who is their franchise goalie, putting up a sub 900 save percentage. So that's not good.
Pretty awful. Yeah. Like the
Two-
Line for Dubois trade. No one's a winner.
Yeah, and those are both your teams.
Right. Yeah. Just shifting crap in between.
Yeah, terrible. Blues were silent at the deadline. That's probably not a great thing for you because they're fighting for their playoff lives.
Right.
And then you got these two. Columbus, I say, boy, do they suck at hockey. And New Jersey's just boring.
Who's the guy in the bottom right that Nashville? I don't know faces.
Okay, so Nashville is a bubble playoff team. They're fighting Chicago. They're fighting Dallas. They go out there and good former 3rd overall pick, Eric Goodbranson.
Okay. I'm somewhat familiar with that name.
Yeah, so
Obviously, he's not playing up to his potential as a 3rd overall pick.
no, I mean he's older. He's in his early 30s.
Oh.
But man, he was terrible pretty much after leaving Florida, which was about 5-6 years ago. This is their big deadline acquisition in Nashville.
All right.
Woof.
Definitely not great.
Woof.
But maybe they can hold on. I mean, there's only 15 games left or so.
Yeah.
That's a lot, but
It's
I don't know.
not the greatest.
Yeah. I mean, my whole strategy was not to pick individual players and just to go for teams that generally make the playoffs. But with the Blues not looking too hot and Philadelphia taking a big old shit, I'm worried. I'm a little worried I'm going to have less playoff teams than non-playoff teams.
It's
Which
highly
fuck me
possible.
totally.
St. Louis could drop it. Yeah, I think I think you're in an okay spot.
I've got 2 that are locks, and the rest are all shaky.
Yeah, St. Louis is shaky. Nashville, it's Nashville's to lose, but
Sure.
they got Chicago and Dallas on their heels.
All right. You want to go through Tony's while Bill's taking care of the baby?
Yeah, I see Bill coming back in now.
Oh, cool.
He's joining. But as Bill's joining, let's take a look at Tony's.
Look at the fucking Penguins.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh, man.
Hey, Bill. All you missed was Jerrick is about 500 with his playoff teams. He's got some hot players, got some bad players. We're on to Tony, though. And
Yeah.
first thing Jerrick noticed here is Tony's second to last pick, Terrence Mass right now. 27-3-2, the Pittsburgh Penguins. Going through Vegas, they're a lock. Boston, good record, not a lock. Dallas, we've already mentioned, fighting you for a playoff spot. Calgary, yikes. Vancouver is currently getting their dicks kicked in from COVID. There are 23 players, including the taxi squad, that have COVID right now. So,
Wow.
that's a problem. And then the Hawks were in a playoff spot, but now they ain't. So Tony is struggling here. He's got 3 teams in the playoffs. And when we look at his players here, he's got a lot of good players. No one trophy winning. Like you had Vasilevsky and Hedman in good fights for the playoffs. Good fights for individual hardware. Kane is the closest thing he's got to a heart. But we're going to see who's really going to win the heart when we get to Bill's. Bill's got a lot of individual hardware on his roster. I don't know if he did that on purpose.
Great. That was part of my strategy, actually.
It's a good strategy. As for Tony's bads, pretty much half his teams are awful. Canucks, who I thought were a good pick where he got them, are having a terrible year. They had a terrible trade deadline, and then everyone is dying of COVID.
They're not dying.
Well, they're not playing. They haven't played in 2 weeks.
So do you think they're going to get to make those games up now that
Yep.
we're 2/3 through the season?
Yep, they're playing like 19 games in 30 days.
Oh,
Doesn't bode well.
And hockey ain't a sport where you should be playing that many back-to-backs.
yeah, that could lead to injuries. It's a little dangerous.
Yep. Tony's team got Taylor Hall in Boston. I don't get why. Every team he goes on loses.
Oh,
He's
good.
just perpetual loser.
Something I noticed about Boston, maybe you could expand on it. I was looking at like the playoff standings, and they had, I think what the statistic was if they were plus or minus goals over the season, like if they, like how much more they scored over opponents, and for their division, everyone was like plus 20, plus 13, plus 25. Some people below them were like in the pluses, and then they were just plus 5.
Yeah, so that's their goal differential.
So they're like a defensive team, I'm guessing.
Well, their first line of these three basically are always one of the top lines in hockey. That's Pasternak, Marchand, and Bergeron. After that, it's kind of like, good.
I'm going to make a prediction right here. Boston's going to miss the playoffs, and it's the Chara curse.
Not a lock right now. I mean, Rangers and I guess Philly are kind of chasing them. I just don't. Man, the Rangers, though, have picked it up since Panarin came back, which we'll talk about Panarin when we get to you, Bill.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of
And I'm not saying that because I picked the Rangers as my team. I'm saying it because Boston has the Chara curse.
Well, you've got Chara.
They shouldn't have.
You've got Chara on your,
I know.
on your teams, and they're playing very well.
Yeah. Is he in contention for the MVP this year?
No, he's not. He's
okay.
he's in
All
contention for nothing but maybe a Stanley Cup.
Pretty good.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I saw you look disappointed.
He brings that winning culture.
Hey, they like Chara in Washington. He seems like a fun guy. That's all I got to say about him at this point in his career. All right, let's do me. I'm having a good year.
Yeah.
So Avs, I mean, incredible. Montreal is only in a playoff spot because everyone in the Canadian division is either a playoff team or absolute horseshit. Islanders, they're looking good. I hate the Islanders. Wild in a playoff spot. Florida, shockingly in a playoff, in a playoff spot. And then I gave Bill a lot of garbage for taking San Jose, but I picked the team that went on an 18-game winless streak. They're 10-25-7. They are the laughing stock of the NHL. And then the Coyotes are actually in contention to pass the Blues. So I am in a spot where I could have 6 of my 7 teams in.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
That's awesome.
Looking at some players here, I've got Rantanen, who is second in the league in scoring. I would say he's in a race for the Hart, or not the Hart, the Rocket. I won't, because we'll see why in a minute. McKinnon is 6th in the league in points. I'd say he's in contention for the Hart. We'll see why in a minute. I do have a player, though, Kirill Kaprizov, right here. He is, without a doubt, going to win the Calder Trophy. He is the reason the Minnesota Wild are not trash. He brings excitement to the game. Also, Florida Panthers backup goalie is now their starting goalie. That's cool. Yeah, there's nothing really too much exciting on my players. I couldn't think of too many good things or bad things with my teams. There, other than Buffalo is entering year 11 of their 5-year rebuild, so that's cool. Buffalo got absolutely nothing for Taylor Hall as well, so shitting on Buffalo a little more.
Question about Buffalo.
Yeah,
I have to ask: Are there like rumors about them moving from Buffalo?
No, their fans still show to games when you're allowed to go.
Well, that's good. Because I mean, like in my head, Buffalo's just not a big place, not a huge city. I wasn't sure if they have like diehards that are keeping them floating up.
Oh yeah, somehow. Keep in mind all the teams you were looking at here with the goal differential. So I'm scrolling through. The Buffalo Sabres have the worst goal differential at 47 under. They have just scored their 100th goal of the season last game.
They could turn it around.
No, they're so bad. I also think Florida had an awful trade deadline. I know you guys probably don't know who these people are, and with good reason. This is Lucas Wallmark. They got him from the Hawks in exchange for taking Brett Connolly's contract and giving up a pretty good prospect. This is Sam Bennett. He was supposed to be really good. He's not. And then there's Brandon Montour. When Aaron Ekblad went down, their captain, best defenseman, or not captain, assistant captain, best defenseman on the team, they had to go out and get a defenseman. So they got this bum. He's probably a number 7 on Buffalo. He's Aaron Ekblad's replacement.
Who's the Florida goalie that is getting $10 million a year to ride the pine?
That's Sergei Bobrovsky.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
2-time Vezina winner goes to Buffalo, can't put up a 900 save percentage.
Wow.
So, Chris Drieger is now the starting goalie in Florida.
All
And they've got 6 more years at $10 million to pay Bobrovsky. Or 5 or 6, yeah. That's 50, 60 million.
Is that a long contract? 6 years?
So NHL has a cap for free agents of 7. Unless you're on the team, you could sign an 8-year contract.
That's pretty long.
Before that, though, because there's such a hard cap in the NHL, teams would circumvent it by offering like 15-year contracts. Duncan Keith is at the end of his 15 or 12-year or whatever contract.
That is crazy. Wow.
Yeah.
Did not know that about hockey.
Yeah. The cap is crazy. But we get to the most exciting person to talk through, and that's Bill. Bill's got a lot of fun teams.
Solid work.
Bill might win this. That's what I'm going to say right here and now. He's got Toronto. They're soundly in the playoffs. Edmonton soundly in the playoffs. The
Hurricanes, they're doing great.
They are doing better than Tampa and Florida right now.
Yeah, they're winning. I don't know if they'll win the division, but they might. They might.
They will win the regular season in the division. I don't know if they've got what it takes to beat Tampa in the playoffs.
But you get points for winning the division too, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to
win
the division.
I have 3 of those, I think.
You have 3. Who is winning the
Capitals?
Yeah, Colorado. So I have the other one.
Okay.
So these are your playoff teams. San Jose is in the mix. I wouldn't say they have to jump 2 teams. Probably not looking great, but they're in the mix. Rangers are in the mix. Senators are only better than Buffalo, which isn't hard to do.
I mean, yeah. They were my last pick.
Here's where you are going to win. Austin Matthews is running away with the Rocket, which is for the most goals in the season. So remember when I said Rantanen was second in the league in scoring?
Yeah.
He has 25 goals. Austin Matthews has 32 in 38 games.
Look at you, Austin Matthews.
And then this is his teammate. He's not going to win any awards, but he's top 10 in scoring, and another reason why Austin Matthews is performing well.
Great.
Also, they had an amazing trade deadline, so they might go very far in the playoffs.
That's the Leafs, right?
Yes. Then we get to Connor McDavid. Remember when I said Patrick Kane was in contention for the Hart Trophy?
What's the Hart Trophy again?
MVP of the league.
Oh, yeah.
They usually give it to somebody who puts up a lot of points or, is a big part of their team's success. So Patrick Kane is third in the league in points. He has 54 in 44, 45 games. He's doing very well. The only two players in front of him are this guy with 61 and this guy with 69.
Wow.
Oh, and just for the record, Patrick Kane is 3, Austin Matthews is 4, Mitch Marner is 5. So you have 4 of the top 5 point producers in the league on your team.
Great. Good.
We also mentioned Carolina Hurricanes, best in the Midwest.
They might win it all, baby.
I don't know.
I'm feeling good about them.
You also have Alexander Ovechkin, who I believe he has squeaked his way in the top 5 in scoring. Yep, he has 22 goals. He's also pretty much passing players in top NHL in history each game.
Yep, cool.
He's like in the top 5. Also, I gave you a lot of shit for the Sharks. They're in the playoff hunt. You also have Adam Fox, who might win the Norris Trophy for best defenseman.
Okay. Is he the favorite?
I'd say the favorite is Hedman, but also Adam Fox has a point per game in his sophomore season in the NHL.
Cool.
You also have Artemi Panarin, who missed a ton of time because the Russian government put a sting on him because he's a very outspoken anti-Putin person. So that they...
I like this guy a lot already.
He was a Hawk. He was Patrick Kane's line mate. I miss him so. Wow. So what happened is they put out a hit, not a hit, but they basically put out a fake story about him assaulting a minor when he was 18. Not true. It was basically the Russian government kind of giving him a little something for basically being very outspoken anti-Putin. So he left for Russia to get his family out of there.
Wow.
Missed some time.
There's a story.
There's a story.
There's a story there. That's crazy.
He missed some time. He is leading the Rangers in points, and it's not even close.
And I think he's going to lead them to the playoffs.
He might, because the Rangers were very far out of the playoffs, and now they're right in it. As Panarin just dominates.
I'm going to be so mad if Boston makes it because of it would be Putin's fault, really. Because the Rangers should have made it if he had them whole year, He
started slow, and then when he came back on fire.
Maybe he had some stuff on his mind.
Also, let me tell you, best celebration, he just does leg kicks, which is very hard to do.
It's cool. I don't know. This is my second favorite hockey player of all time now.
His nickname is the Bread Man because his name sounds dangerously close to Panera.
It does. I like this guy.
Yeah, he's actually probably one of my favorite players not on the Hawks. He was on the Hawks to start his career, and I miss him greatly.
Oh.
So
criminally underpaid.
I noticed.
No, he ain't criminally underpaid now. He's making 11.
This is really great. I love this is awesome. I don't know why are you missing like a thing for Chara?
Do you want me to talk about Chara?
No, you don't have to talk about him. I just think he should be in my top stories. Just
let's see. I got Capitals thing pulled up. Chara has 2 goals, 7 assists for 9 points in 43 games.
But are you measuring his leadership?
Yeah, it's probably about 9 points in 43 games.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Actually, that's not too bad for a 43-year-old bottom-pairing defenseman.
Yeah. He brings that championship culture to the Capitals.
He's played every game at 43 years old. Also, pretty solid feat.
Yes.
I didn't have a lot of bad to say about any of your teams.
Great. Well,
the
Senators, but
I don't think the Oilers have enough depth to go far in the playoffs. I don't know if the Caps have a starting goalie. And then I shit on the the Senators a little bit. That's really about it. You've got
I like my teams.
Group here.
I feel pretty good about it. I picked a good group of guys.
I'm going to need a Colorado. I don't know if I have another team in the East that could make the championship. That'd be the best way to beat Bill with all of his players winning awards. Also, here's the 3 teams we didn't pick. LA is also in a fight for the playoffs, probably closer than the Sharks.
Wow.
Everyone else is dog shit. Yeah, here's no playoff teams.
I've got a question real quick.
Yes.
I know I said a second ago that Panarin's only making $1 million. Thank you, Google.
11.6.
Right. Why is his signing bonus $13 million, but his base salary is $1 million? Can you explain that? That's where I got confused.
Probably some cap circumventing bullshit. I don't know.
Okay, because I'm looking at literally from now until 2026, he's making $1 million a year, but his signing bonus starts at $13 million and drops, to $7 million by 2026.
It's probably a way to keep a flat cap hit,
Sure.
and then pay him a ton 1 year and less at the end.
Yeah, the cap hit is 11.6 every year.
Yep.
Okay, sorry, just random. I for some reason was saying there's no way this guy's making only $1 million a year if he's an all-star.
Oh, he's a top 5 player in the game.
Yeah.
He's good. Big fan.
Thanks for clarifying.
Yeah, and then here's kind of our picks. Looking back, man, there are not a lot of great picks after Stanley Cup. Does anyone here want to change their Stanley Cup pick?
Nope.
Who did I pick? It hasn't
Toronto.
updated for me yet. Ooh, that's who I picked, and that's my guy.
So here's what we got. We got Jerrick with Tampa, Tony with Tampa, Bill Toronto, and I've got the Avs. I ain't changing.
Well, Tony texted me that he was thinking the Devils were going to make a late run.
Oh, here, let me change it for him. This really doesn't.
I'm gonna keep it with Toronto, but I'm really liking the Hurricanes right now too, just because I don't know. I just have a feeling, but I'm gonna keep with Toronto.
Cool. I think Toronto is not a bad pick after their trade deadline. President's Trophy. So this is the team with the most points in the regular season. Toronto for you guys. And then I picked the Panthers. I don't think either of those are right. I'm going to go with the Avs. I'm switching it up. They're 29-9-3.
I'm not changing anything.
And then what's Toronto right now?
I forgot. Hold on, let me pull it up. They're doing well. They are 28-11-4. So they have a 698 point.
Toronto.
They have a 698 point percentage. Colorado has a 738. Second place for that is Carolina at 707 and it's Vegas at 707 point percentage wise. So we all stick in Toronto other than me.
Yeah.
Toronto does have the easier schedule. They get to play the Senators, the COVID Canucks, and pretty much anyone not named Winnipeg. It's going to be a pretty easy matchup. Or Edmonton. Winning the West, we have Jerrick says Avs. Tony says Vegas. Bill, you might want to change from the Blues. I've got the Avs.
Quick question. Is this who's going to win the division or who's going to go the furthest of these teams in the playoffs? I forgot.
I'll say this is furthest in the playoffs, which again, I'd switch Bill. They got the Avs in the first
I'm going to change it to the Wild.
I figured you'd go that route. Sure.
I was considering doing the Sharks, but
all right.
Maybe.
So in the North, everyone but me as Toronto. Let me just join you guys. Well, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Playoffs. Toronto always loses in the first round, even if it's an upset. I don't think that happens this year, but I will go with Winnipeg.
Okay.
They have a good goalie, and I don't think Toronto does. That's about it.
Fair.
Very easily, Toronto could win that division. In the East, we are all different, and boy, one of us didn't even pick a playoff team, and that is me. Yikes. So, Jerrick, you got the Islanders. Tony's got Boston. Bill, you have the Caps, and I will be changing. Are you guys changing?
No. Keeping the Caps.
Boy, playoff success. Boy, I don't want to root for Boston or the Islanders, so I won't, or Pittsburgh. So I'll just put the Caps because of that.
I mean, you could go with the Rangers.
Man, I would love that. They've got to make up some ground here, though, or Boston needs to start losing. Is Boston playing today? No. Oh, who the Rangers play next?
Again, the Chara's curse. They're not going to make the playoffs.
Look, they're playing the Islanders next game, and the Rangers are playing the Devils. That gap can be closed very quickly.
Do it. Yeah, what?
Fuck it. I want to pick a team I actually want to root for, so I'm gonna pick the Rangers. Yeah. And then in the Central for the playoffs, it's Jerrick and I have Tampa with Tony, and Bill, you have the Hurricanes. I'm assuming we're all keeping that.
Yeah, I'm keeping the Canes, baby.
And Tampa Bay is one of the best teams in the league, and their best player has been hurt all year and is coming back in the playoffs. I can't imagine them losing.
But hockey is crazy.
It is the most unpredictable sport. But I'm gonna predict Tampa. That's pretty easy prediction to make.
That's fair. I just feel like I have to go against the grain, and I like the Canes this year mostly because of their team, their colors of the logo. I think I looked at it today and I was like, this is a really cool logo.
Yeah, it's a hurricane, a natural disaster, if you will.
Yeah,
I think we'll lock these in now. We won't change these. We'll probably do one more check-in as the playoffs start. But I think we'll leave these to see how they fare as the playoffs roll on.
sure.
You all good with that?
Oh yeah.
I'm good with that.
Last thing is, we're gonna want to look at these. I don't think there's gonna be a ton of changing. For the Hart, Jerrick has Matthews. Everyone else has McDavid. Jerrick, you gonna change that?
Nah, not changing anything.
Love it.
I made my bed. I'm gonna sleep in it.
Norris, we have Hedman.
I respect that.
Chara for Bill. Tony's got Petrie, which at the time wasn't laughable. I'm not feeling it anymore. And I got Makar. I'll stick with Makar. It's probably not the right pick, but I like it.
I'm sticking with Chara.
I knew you'd never change, Bill.
Yeah.
We've got here Calder. Me and Jerrick have Lankinen. Tony's got Stutzla, and Bill's got the actual winner, Kaprizov. But I'm going to stick with Lankinen anyway. Bill, you've predicted the winner there. Vezina.
I don't know how.
He's fucking insane. Vezina, best goalie. Bill has Vasilevsky, who I think will win. But Varlamov, Jerrick and I have, and he's been quietly good. Quietly very good. I'm going to stick with it.
I'll stick with mine.
Yeah. Art Ross for most points. Sure, I'll bank on a McDavid injury. That's literally the only way that happens. Everyone else has McDavid. I'd advise not to change it. Bill, would you like Chara?
He's a defenseman now.
Respectable. And then for the
I'm not gonna
Rocket,
get crazy.
for the Rocket, everyone but you, Bill, has the one who's going to win the Rocket in Matthews.
I would like to change it to Panini.
And Aaron.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the balls that you think somebody's gonna catch. If somebody else even scores 32, it'll be like, wow, that's impressive.
Matthews is also he's one of my guys, right?
Yes.
I'm betting against him, which is sad.
You're betting against him with another guy you have.
Yeah, I like both of them. I wish them much success.
Don't worry. They
Really, either way,
success.
I'm happy with the outcome. So
Yes. As you should be.
yeah.
That's it. That's my PowerPoint.
It was a lovely PowerPoint, Andy.
Thank you. So yeah, if I had to pick a winner right now, it's gonna be Bill with all of his award winners.
Yeah, Bill definitely.
I feel good about that.
But Jerrick, you have a Stanley Cup favorite, and I have a Stanley Cup favorite. We put a lot of precedence on that.
Yeah,
That's fair.
at least
I'll be happy if I beat Tony again.
As of right now, you're beating Tony. You're beating Jerrick.
It'll feel even better because this is hockey, and he should know more about hockey than me.
Oh, so shouldn't I?
Well, yeah.
I went for playoff teams only, which is sort of working. And Buffalo. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking there. I forgot my rationale behind that pick, especially when I could have picked a lot of other teams because they were not my last pick.
I did spend a fairly large amount of time getting my draft picks ready for this.
I could tell you went for players you thought were going to win awards because, yeah.
That did factor into my decision for which teams to pick, for sure.
And I do remember you picked Edmonton before I was you picked a lot of teams like right before I was going to pick them. So
that's just where the draft crumbles sometimes.
Yeah. Well,
it'll be. I'm excited for this. Is the most excited I've ever been for hockey playoffs.
Good. We should
Easily,
make a Twitch account and stream it. We talk about hockey.
Hell yeah,
sure.
Bill's like, I won't be there. I have a child to care for.
I bet. Oh gosh, I want Chara to just have one like golden moment in the playoffs that like seals the deal for the Capitals to go on to like the next round or something. It'll feel so good.
His hat trick goal gets them into the conference final.
Game 7.
Yeah, maybe.
The Chara boom. Hey,
oh man, I can't wait to. I need to get like a Chara jersey. I think
next time we meet for this, we should make our pick for the Conn Smythe winner, which is the MVP of the playoffs as well.
Yeah,
interesting.
Now, is that normally goes to the team that wins, like someone on the team that wins the whole thing, or
98% of the time it goes to the winning team's best player. It has gone to the Stanley Cup losing team's player a few times, not often. You have to be insane to win that as the losing team.
I think that happened only one time in the NBA, and I want to say it was for Jerry West.
Last time it happened in the NHL was 2003. Was it 2003? It was J.S. Jagir in the early 2000s. He was the losing goalie. And he came back out on the ice and accepted his award while the other team was celebrating their Stanley Cup.
That would feel so shitty. Oh God, I feel so bad for that guy.
Was it 2003? It might have been Jay.
Yeah. I know there's been talk about LeBron. I think he's been in contention for Finals MVP, even though he's been on the losing end I think once or twice, but I don't think he wants that, obviously.
I'm assuming he'd want to win.
Yeah, I think he'd want to win the finals. I just know that I don't know. I might be mixing that up, but I think he's been and there's been talks like, well, he's the best player out there as they're getting, decimated by the Warriors or something.
That does not surprise me.
Sucks, but yeah.
Yeah, I believe it was 2003. He got the Conn Smythe for taking the 7th seed Anaheim Ducks to the Stanley Cup Finals. I believe Game 7 even. Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
I mean, that's pretty impressive. I didn't realize it was the 7th seed.
Yeah, so did some work. But to be fair, that was bigger than LA Kings won their first Stanley Cup as the 8th seed, sweeping like 3 teams on the way.
I remember that.
So
hockey's crazy.
I love hockey playoffs because you don't know who's gonna win. Matchup matters.
You really don't know what's going to happen.
They're one major concussion away from losing a playoff series.
It's one big painful body check away.
I would also like to hear Bill's GM of the year next time we do this.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't know any GMs for hockey.
I know. That's why I mentioned it.
Is Chara like co-GM at this point?
I mean, he's older than a few of the GMs in the league. Good stuff.
All right.
I think we're in a good place to close out, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Again,
Internet troubles.
Happens to the best of us. We're closing out, though.
Yeah, Andy, thank you so much for putting this together. This has been an invaluable resource to Bill and I, who couldn't be chuffed to fucking do this ourselves. It was a lot of work, and thank you so much for
No problem.
putting it together. So, again, for the Generable, Bill Johnson, and Andy Mysek, the man with the best name in the whole wide world, I am handy dandy Andy Jerrick, and we'll see you in about a month or so for playoff hockey here on Bracket Up.